What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video. And today we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm just going to be sitting back talking about a League Cup that I went to this past weekend in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Had a great time and ended up winning the tournament. So finally winning a League Cup feels good. Wish I could have won one last season, but didn't work out this time, so hopefully I can win another one this season and get my 100 points for this quarter. So that's the idea, but yeah, we're going to talk about my Mega Rayquaza deck that I chose to play. I'm going to go over my matchups. It was a very small tournament, I think only 13 people, but we did have 5 rounds. And, you know, I had a lot of good friends there. You know, I was good friends with everybody in top 4, Grant, Eddie, and Chris Watkins, of course. So yeah, had a great time, and yeah, let's just go ahead and hop into it. I'll talk about my matchups first, and then we'll talk about the, well, no, here, we'll talk about the the deck first, and then we'll talk about matchups. How's that sound? Okay, let's go ahead and hop into this thing and see where we're at. So as you guys know, Rayquaza, of course, one of my favorite decks in the format right now. I promise I know how to play other decks, and I promise I do play other decks, but I just always end up going back to Rayquaza, and yeah, just decided to go back with it this weekend. Leading up to the tournament, some of my friends who I knew were going to be at the tournament had been hyping up a Mega Gardevoir deck with like 3 copies of Hexmaniac and 2 or 3 Parallel Cities, so I was expecting several people to play that, and so because of that, that's the reason I decided to go with the metal version of Rayquaza here with the Magearna EX with the Soul Blaster attack in order to one-shot Magearna, or one-shot Gardevoirs under Parallel City Hexlock. So that was the idea and reasoning behind behind the Magearna. Sorry, excuse me, guys. So that's why I decided to go with this. There's not a lot of Decidueye in my area. I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of Decidueye at the tournament. Like I said, it was very, very small, so I was kind of able to tell what most people were going to be playing. And yeah, so that's why I decided to go with Magearna. And also the Genesect ended up being kind of a last-second inclusion, but I think it's actually really cool and works really well. Of course, the Drive Change ability here. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may put a Pokemon Tool card attached to this Pokemon into your hand. And Rapid Blaster, if I happened to attach to this 3 times, it would also one-shot a Gardevoir, a Mega Gardevoir, if I discard 1 energy. So also a potential attacker there. But yeah, I definitely think that the Drive Change ability is really, really nice, and I think I probably would still play Genesect even if I didn't play the metal version, just because of how nice the utility of having that was. A lot of times against Rayquaza, if you get a really fast start, one of the strategies your opponent is going to have is trying to Lysander, install something with a high retreat cost in order to gain traction and kind of catch back up with you, hopefully stall you out for a couple turns, but with Genesect EX, you can totally just shut off that line of play and force your opponent to do something else. So, like I said, I really, really like the Genesect. I did also play an Olympia in the deck. Looking back at it, I would probably cut this for something else, like another consistency card, maybe like an N or a Sycamore, maybe a 5th Metal Energy or a 4th Mega Turbo, something like that. I could definitely see the Olympia being cut for. But yeah, Genesect, I like it a lot. And I also chose to play one of the Mega Rayquazas from Ancient Origins. Of course, this does have a different Ancient trait. We're all used to the Delta Evolution Ancient trait. You may play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your first turn, or on the turn that Pokemon came into play. But with, you know, the recent popularity of Decidueye Vileplume, I decided to try out this one. Didn't end up playing any Decidueye Vileplumes, didn't end up mattering, but the Theta Max Ancient trait here. When one of your Pokemon becomes this Pokemon, heal all damage from it. So the idea is that potentially I am attacking with a baby Rayquaza, maybe hitting for Intensifying Burn against something like a Lugia, something like that, and then they're putting some damage on me, and then I Mega Evolve with this Rayquaza, heal that damage, and then I have a fresh Mega Rayquaza to start attacking with. That was the idea. Didn't end up happening. I think it would work, though. I definitely would probably still play this if I was expecting any amount of Decidueye or the potential of any Decidueye. I would definitely go with this. So yeah, there's the list. Everything else is pretty standard. I'm not going to talk about everything because you guys know, like, I've talked about Rayquaza a lot on my channel. You can check out any of my other videos if you want to see gameplay with the deck, or a similar version of the deck. But yeah, 2 Hoopa EX here, of course, and 4 Shaman EX. Pretty standard setup there. I did play 2 copies of Dragonite EX, which is a little abnormal. Most of the time I just play 1. Decided to play the 2 copies just because of, like I said, the Parallel City thing. expecting a lot of that stuff to come out of the woodworks, and so having multiple Dragonite EX here was definitely very nice. I could see going down to 1 and then 1 Buddy Buddy Rescue being okay. But yeah, there we go. There is the deck list. Let's go ahead and talk about the tournament itself. It's at, this is only the second League Cup that this tournament has ever done, second like tournament that they've ever run, and they did a great job, so huge shout outs to Gamers Guild, I believe it is, in Jacksonville, North Carolina. But yeah, let's see, round 1, we sit down and I am playing against an Umbreon Espeon GX deck with hammers and disruption and stuff like that. He also played an Espeon EX in order to potentially devolve Pokemon to take knockouts that way, which was kind of interesting, but kind of interestingly enough as well, if I have a Metal Energy attached, Mystic Heart prevents the de-evolution of Pokemon with because of, you know, I have a Metal Energy attached to it. And also this prevents Dark Call GX, which never actually came up. He never got to get off his Dark Call. But yeah, I really thought I was going to... So that was round 1, and I ended up winning, but I thought I was going to lose early on because I had a completely dead start. Like, absolutely no playable cards in my hand. I was, like, draw passing for the first 4 or 5 turns. I think I had a Rayquaza active. I ended a turn by Mega Evolving. I had a Genesect on the bench and like an Oranguru down, but no, like I just dead drew forever, and I finally top decked like an Ultra Ball in order to get myself going, or like a Sycamore. So I don't know, I top decked something and finally was able to get going a little bit. And once that happened, he actually took a 4-prize turn against me where he was using Shadow Bullet on a Mega Rayquaza. He hit it twice and then hit a Shaman on the bench twice, and then the next turn Lysandered that Shaman and hit and knocked the Shaman out, and then put 30 on the Mega Rayquaza to knock it out on the bench. So that was actually scary. I was like, okay, I'm going to lose this game. But like I said, it finally top decked out, and once I knocked out that Umbreon GX, he hadn't set up any other attackers, so I was able to win just with that one Mega Rayquaza. Then let's see, in round 2 I played against the Quad Lapras deck, which is kind of an interesting matchup. You're obviously a lot faster and you can one-hit KO Lapras, which if you can one-hit KO Laprases, they have a really hard time. They kind of rely on being able to heal and having energy disruption, and if you just take 3 quick knockouts, there's not going to be a lot they can do. And it can also be kind of scary because sometimes before an in or something you have to attach a double colorless, but then you in, and then if you whiff the Mega Turbo or the other way to attach energy, or I guess just the Mega Turbo, and they discard that double colorless, you are going to be really far behind, especially with this list. I'm not playing any Special Charge or anything like that. So yeah, that definitely could have been scary, but I knocked out one Lapras. He promotes the second one. Then collects, has no other bench Pokemon, and then I'm able to knock out. He discards my energy, then collects, and then I am just able to draw out of it. He also got the turn 1 Judge on me, which could have been scary, but I got an Ultra Ball off of that turn 1 Judge, so ended up being okay there. Then let's see, round 3, I play against a Mega Rayquaza Mirror. And we hex each other back and forth for the first like 4 or 5 turns. It was kind of funny, but and I was actually kind of dead drawing at the beginning of that one too. Like I had no playable cards in my hand, and I was just like hex pass, hex pass, hex pass, and then finally I top deck Sycamore and am able to go off and take the first EX knockout, which is really important. Then he returns the knockout. And then I'm able to return a knockout and hex, and if you can do that, you usually can get kind of far ahead. So, was able to win that one, and then round 4, I ID'd with my friend Eddie, who was playing Gyarados. I think the matchup is fine for Rayquaza, but he was playing a Klefki, which is really annoying, and then he was also playing Rotom Dex, which was really cool. So if he prizes Magikarps, he can Rotom Dex and put him back in. But we ID'd, so 301, and then round 5 I got paired up against a junior, actually, the son of the guy who was playing Quad Lapras, but we ended up IDing just because I was guaranteed cut at 302, so we ID'd and we just played for fun. But he was playing Xerneas Break, or not Xerneas Break, he might have been playing the Break, but I didn't see it. He was playing G-Mancy Xerneas, then Mega Gardevoir Dragons, and we played a game for fun, and yeah, just, you know, had a good time there. But I did ID, so did end up making it into cut. I was either 2nd or 3rd seed, I don't remember, but I played against Eddie, or Carl as his name is on all of the all of the tournament listings, but yeah, he was playing Gyarados. Game 1, he has a really dead start, and I win in a couple turns. And Game 2, he prized 3 Magikarps, and so I was able to win that one. So unfortunately, Eddie was unable to really get anything going in either of our games. So gotta hate it when that happens, but it is Pokemon. That is how it happens, how it works. And then in the finals, I play against Grant Manley, who is a good friend of mine, of course. We do a lot of testing together, same as Eddie and Chris, the other guy in top 4. We all test together all the time and talk about Pokemon all the time. But Grant was playing Mega Scizor out of nowhere. Scizor is a deck that none of us have ever talked about or played, but Grant just decides he's going to play it because everyone's talking about the Mega Gardevoir, and he knew I would play Rayquaza most likely. But I think the matchup is fine if you have the Magearna. Preventing him from discarding the special energies is very nice. And he didn't play any stadiums at all, so he would discard my Skyfields every turn, but every turn I would also just be able to find a Skyfield. Having the 2 Dragonites was very, very good in that matchup, and there you go. I was able to win the League Cup, so yeah, had a great time at the event. Shout out again to Gamers Guild in Jacksonville. Definitely excited to go back. I've got, I think, 4 more League Cups I could go to, so hopefully I just go to one and win the next one and don't have to go to any more. That's the idea, at least. We'll see if that happens or not. But yeah, definitely leave a like down below if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys are excited to see me win a League Cup. I know I was excited to see me win a League Cup. Also, if you guys want to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, I posted my list, all 3 of those places, earlier this weekend right after the win. So if you want to see my updates from tournaments and stuff like that, that's an easy way to stay up to date with me. All those links are down in the description. You can find me at all of them just at Trainer Chip. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this Metal Rayquaza deck list. Any changes you would make, definitely try it out for yourself. The deck list will be in the description of the video, as always, guys. So that's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks again, as always, for watching, and until next time, take care.